start the show. Welcome everybody to the Overthinking Football Show. I do this every Monday to Friday, 12:30 in the afternoon, and then also Monday to Wednesday at 8 p.m. We also do some watch-alongs over the weekend for the Big Three, so catch me then too. If you do happen to miss out on any of the shows and you want to hear what we've been speaking about over the past few weeks, months, all of that, you can head on over to Facebook. They are all there in full. And you can catch them there, and also some really other cool content on Facebook and YouTube that is not available on TikTok because it's just a little bit too long. Also, if you want to lend your voice to the show and you want to join one of the panels and engage with me in real time live here, you have to be following me on TikTok, and then there'll come a time on the show when I'll tell you guys that it's open, and at the bottom of your screen on TikTok it will say multi-guest, and you can click on that and join. So obviously it's Monday, and Monday, when there's matches that have happened over the weekend, we cover that and speak about everything to do with what happened over the weekend. So as you well know, we always start off with hearing from the coaches and what the coaches had to say about the game. So let me put on Steve Barker. Today we're going to be speaking about Orlando Pirates and how they fared over the weekend. Shout out to Sandile Ndumo for the video. Let's hear what they say.
Thank you, Coach. Steven, obviously not the results that you were looking for. Your thoughts on the game?
Obviously, once again, a disappointing result for us at the end of the day. Tough when you go down to 10 men again in the space of sort of three days. But in saying that, I thought we started the game really well. One of the aims was to not allow them just to have control of the ball the full time. Unlike when we played in the first game of the season in the league. So I thought that worked really well. I think we put a bit of pressure on the two central midfielders, and Monari and Longlaw, and also at times on their centre back. So they didn't really have the rhythm that they always seek to have. So I thought we disrupted their sort of game plan in that regard, and I felt in possession we were able to, keep control of the ball and get into their half with good sort of control, and I think that created a little bit of problems for them. So I felt that we deserved to at least go into halftime not conceding, and then obviously we got the late goal just before halftime from the set piece, which obviously changed our mentality in the change room, and then down to 10 men in the change room. The idea was, it is a two-legged game, so we sort of felt that if second half we could deny them, a goal, it would take us to Orlando, not having conceded an away goal. So we sort of set our structure knowing that they're going to have a lot of possession because of the extra man and their technical ability. And I thought we really played well. We just, we kept our shape. We denied them space in central areas. It didn't really look like they were going to score, albeit they had a lot of possession. So when they got their goal to make it 1-1, it obviously, we had really worked hard, and then they got their goal from a wide sort of cross to Lapasa. And then at 1-1, you're still thinking it's not the worst result to, considering you're down to 10 men to finish the game with, because then you can go away from home and then you only need to win the game. So for us to concede late just obviously makes the task far more difficult. But in the end of the day, it's a war, and there's two battles. We've lost the first battle, but we haven't lost the war yet. So you can be rest assured that we will go to Orlando, and we'll be as creative and courageous as we can to get ourselves back into the game. And if we could get a goal at Orlando, and then it becomes nervous, because then the scoreline is if we score second and they don't score, then we advance. So, but that is a worry for another day. I think we've had a tough week. Played three good teams, beaten SuperSport, then lost the second one, beaten Pirates, lost the second one, lost midweek to Chiefs. So it's a tough week for us as a club, and exciting and privileged to be in this type of week where we're playing against some of the more established teams in the league. And I can honestly say that in all 3 matches, I feel that we have closed and are closing the gap rapidly, where I feel, although the results didn't go our way, a lot of our performances warranted a lot more from it. So time for us to reflect this week, FIFA break. We've had 7 games, a lot of new players have joined the club. We've had 7 sort of matches, 3 in the first week, then another 3 in a week, so it's been quite hectic start, so we can just maybe re-energize, regroup, reflect on where we need to improve, where we need to be better, so that we can then tackle the next phase of the league and cup, having had good preparation. But I just again want to congratulate the players just for their commitment, their effort that they put into the game, and unfortunately we fell a bit short today, but as I say, it's not over.
Okay, there we had Coach Barker just speaking on his team. Let's hear from the Spanish guitar and what he had to say.
Stellenbosch better than us in the early stages of the first half. Better in terms of better positioned on the field, making our build-up very uncomfortable. We prepared the game in a different way, and they were much more aggressive than what we expect, so we have problems to find joy behind the center midfielders, and we were too large. Then I think little by little we managed to get the control of the game, and when we were, I think that when we were close to find our first goal, they got the red card, and we started a new game with Stellenbosch with 1 man down, lower on the field with different spaces to find. So we have to again think about a new different plan. And we got a goal just before the halftime that was also a big condition for the second half. And in the second half, we tried to do, or we did everything in order to reduce the distance, to be consistently playing in their half, knowing that as much time as we spend there close to the goal, more possibilities with the talent that we have in our forwards to get the goal. And extremely happy with the attitude until the end, looking for the second goal as well. We are happy. We celebrate the victory because it's very important for us. But understanding that it's just the first leg, and we have to do a good job in 21 days in order.
Okay, very nice and short there from Coach Jose. Let's get into the chat for today. Obviously, we're going to be speaking about what happened during that match. So I'm going to start us off. Look, guys, I think if there's one thing about Steve Barker, and it's one thing that he's shown us, is that he knows how to plan. As Coach Jose said over there, in as much as they wanted to play with fluidity and all of that stuff, Stellenbosch came out aggressive. Stellenbosch came out with a plan, and it disrupted some of their play. So I think you'd give kudos to Coach Barker, because even in the first match that they played versus the Orlando Pirates at the beginning of the season that they won, you could tell, he even said it, that he watched a lot of Pirates' preseason games over there in Spain, and then he came back and he worked out a way to nullify the attackers, but also attack on the counter and keep them under pressure, which is what they did. Unfortunately, that red card changes everything. As you say, when you speak about red cards, as Jose had said, there's a question where they asked him, how do you feel about red cards? And he says he doesn't like playing against them. And as much as it hurt Pirates because Stellenbosch started sitting back, it also hurt Stellenbosch because they had the 1-goal lead. They conceded the goal, and then they conceded that last goal, meaning that their job is that much tougher when they go over to the slaughterhouse. The slaughterhouse that is that is Orlando Pirates. But overall, I think it was a good tactical game. Tetwa was incredible in that game. Stellenbosch, for the first 15, 20 minutes, pushed really hard, pressed really hard, put Pirates in some really tough situations. But at the end of the day, quality always wins. And Pirates' quality beat out Stellenbosch's plucky performance. And yeah, we'll see what happens in the second leg against them. Let me just first say, let me read some of these comments. I'm going to open up the lines, guys. So right now, you're going to see the multi-guest feature be available, and you'll be able to request. So please, guys, request. I think I'm going to do 3 panels today, and then we're going to speak about Chiefs later when I come back at 8 p.m. So while I'm waiting for you guys to request, let me read some of these comments quickly. Hurua, up the Bucks. Okay, up the Bucks, I guess. Lord Muller, I'm good, my brother, I'm good. Orlando Pirates, Orlando is the slaughterhouse, so don't get your hopes high, coach, says Mr. DJ. How are you doing, Chorizo? Welcome. Pirates, brilliant in ball possession and individual brilliance. Over, brother, I'm greeting after a long time. Oh, Velo, welcome back. Patrick and Morane, they're both playing very well. And Munare, they lack the final touch, meaning making it easy at the end. How are you doing, Kwena? Welcome. Before I comment, I think we need someone like Dylan Kerr at Chiefs. We're going to speak about Chiefs later. We're going to speak against Chiefs later. Where's Gama Binzela? He scored. Yeah. It's difficult to play against 10-man Pirates, lack making scoring easy. Okay, what's your take on the trending topic? Ayanda Sishu Bulens FC not getting a call-up. I don't want to talk about Hugo Bruce that much. We'll make it a topic later in the week to speak about them. Dashlin Donka bossing that midfield. This guy Tito is enjoying his game in Orlando. I like the shift of Saleng from his position to being inside the box. Okay, so let me welcome the guys onto the show. Ndela, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you doing? So, Uti Ngale game, what are your general thoughts about this game that Pirates played?
You know, one thing, I've listened to Parker talking to interview, and sometimes I always say Utu Parker is one of those best coaches we have. But the only thing that I have a problem with his team is lack of discipline. Like this thing of getting a red card, it's always gonna cost them a matches, and now it's showing. It's again costing them. Your team is gonna get a red card again, like 2 games in a row. They got a red card against the Chiefs, and now so there's a lack of discipline from Itimiake. If he can fix that, I'm telling you, Stellenbosch is gonna be okay. Because every time Stellenbosch, whenever they play, it's a red card, and their team it's full of youngsters. Imagine a player like Abu Titus getting a red card. It's gonna damage those players' Makambi's card. So it's not a good thing for a coach. Like it's always we do understand the good thing. Yes.
No, I was saying,
yes, we do understand.
Do you maybe think that the problem is that his players are playing the occasion? Like, for example, I know in the last 3 matches versus Kaizer Chiefs, there's been red cards. Now in this MTN 8, now corner, there's another red card. Is these players, man, getting too overexcited for some of these big games?
Yes, like the way they are playing, they are too aggressive for my young players. Yes, there's some tackles that you can do that you can get away with. But some tackles, like now as a player, we are born to years, you did a tackle first half. A coach has to talk with the player or other players around there. Not okay, you know what, you need to or a coach should make a substitute. But seems like coach seems like it's okay with his players always getting sense of, and now they are gonna play second leg with the Orlando Pirates, and it seems like the first leg is already done, and it seems like Orlando Pirates 2 goals and 2 away goals is very crucial. So he needs to instill more discipline to his team, because it seems like Usbong Selim Chacha Udala I won up midfield, like it's all over. Like there's no one who's supposed like to support him like midfield. Seems like the team like Stellenbosch is slowly but surely becoming a one-man team. So Abo Pasadin are not doing what they are supposed to do, and also Abo Andre Tiong whenever, because now they're gonna play Pirate ku second leg. So seems like now Pirate is already final, because there's no way I see Stellenbosch coming back from this one.
We'll go into it more deeply. Abut Napoleon, welcome to the show, my brother. Lekau kamu? No, ke right. Le thabile ke mo le winne ka kwa ko Stellenbosch. What are your general thoughts about this game?
Ke kopa ho dumedisa panel kaofela. Wa bona, I would just like to say ke a mo leboga Steve Barker. Steve Barker is a very clever coach. He's like Tinkler. Everything o dula o bua ka these coaches, they're very clever. This guy why it's about Pirates, according to Nna, he knows Pirates. He's just felt like the pacey players that Pirates here and there. If you can look at that game from Manekala, Stellenbosch, the Pirates, okay, Pirates in the ball, they were knocking the ball, but it wasn't that attic, because for the first 10 minutes or 15 minutes, if I'm wrong, anyone would like more panel. Le pass away, and I would never say what you were knocking across the ball, but he was nowhere to be found. Mtetwa, I love that guy. Akitibe Mkaka is still there, go Stellenbosch or what? Even if Nali Dene and
I think.
Those two guys didn't do it. Steve Barker, I know. Tim Rezalitzo. But Reyners Lena, he was not there. He was not there. Then coming to Paris is Ladi Leona. But I'm still saying our coach needs to stick game plan A1. And he must change early. If I want to have a chance, because there's no way each and every time a Tabamunaru is going to be there. There's no way. Makaula can play, team can play there. And I think for now, I think maybe Koki, Khanye and rest. I'm maintaining the injuries. We need a defender like Ndako Paris. Who call out order. Those two, they speak, but there's no one who call out order. Yeah, if I'm wrong, anyone would say, yeah.
Okay, no, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you doing?
My brother, how are you?
No, I'm okay. I'm okay, my brother. I'm okay. Mina, my heartbreak was on Saturday. I had time to heal. Tell me, what did you think of this game that Stellenbosch played versus Pirates?
Well, let me start by saying I still hate Pirates with passion.
Yeah.
As Ulukunjana has mentioned, if there's one thing Steve Barker is not getting right, that's the aggression of his players. I understand he wants to play with a lot of intensity, but he must just ease off on that aggression, man. There were just so many tackles flying around, even after the red card. I was watching like you are one man down already and you're still reckless. But I think if he can control that, he can be a problem for a lot of teams. Because if you look at most matches that he loses against the so-called big teams, he's a man short, and he comes and complains about the referees. But what is he doing in the changing room? How is he talking to these players? And when it comes to Pirates, I saw that if there's one thing Pirates have, they have a coach. For them to see Uguti, they are trailing and they are not getting closer to the goalkeeper. For them to introduce someone who can play in those close spaces like Erasmus with those or half tens work, and then introduce Uratomo, and Maba introducer is taking out defensive players. I think Nomunar to show that I want a goal, to show that we're desperately in need of a goal. If it was another coach, trust me, it was going to be a like for a like, a defender for a defender. But what I saw with the Pirates, it showed it was okay, sharp. Who's this guy? They're not getting any joy. Like all the pass are not getting any joy. Let me introduce a few players who can play in those small spaces, because Stellenbosch was not leaving any spaces. They were just so compact. So with Abo Lisaling, they want to play it long and run behind it. So there was no room for that. Hence, introduction of Erasmus. So I think it was a good game. Ooh, Steve Walker should just ease up on that. Usli Mazelama player, that doesn't look good. Those tackles didn't look good at all.
Let me bring in Ritabile. Ritabile, welcome to the show. How are you doing? You can just unmute there and then join me. Okay, we'll give Ritabile a chance and then I will come back. Ngala, I want to speak about Stellenbosch. You know, Stellenbosch again came in with a plan. Another low block type situation, low block, high press that we saw kind of against the Kaizer Chiefs. Do you think that Pirates is struggling with this low block situation? And what can Ujoze do to fix that problem? Because again, Stellenbosch could have nicked it happy.
You know, I feel like Stellenbosch is slowly becoming a problem for Pirates. Even though Pirates might have won, yes, 2-1, but they are still gonna play Stellenbosch again in the league. What if Pirates okay, let me make an example. What if Pirates maybe they say Pirates they are 70 points and the Sundowns maybe it's 70 points. And if Pirates are playing Stellenbosch on the last match, right? So if Stellenbosch is gonna cause problems with Pirates, like there's gonna come a time where Stellenbosch is gonna be like on is Costa Pirates even a match, maybe a league. So I seem like Pirates is always taking lightly Stellenbosch. Remember, 3 weeks back Stellenbosch won 1-0 against Orlando Pirates. So at that match, I thought the Pirates were playing stronger like Team Yabo because of the still coming fresh from international break like Lama wins wabo. So coming to this match, I saw coach Rivero dropping Abo Miguel team. So I was like, because now he's bringing Abo Munare and Runzonzo there. Yes, it defense Pirates it's okay, but this one I'm gonna Vumelana Nuna saying he needs to bring in Undaga Nane there good defense because Unda is already fit and his training is there, is ready to come in. So Orlando Pirates seems like defensively they are lacking because since the start of the season, Orlando Pirates, yes, as much as they are scoring, they are also conceding. So I don't want to blame goalkeeper Kakulu. They have only defensive partnership Gasbis, no goal. It seems like if Angafara Unda, because Pirates, a game they are playing, they are conceding. They conceded 2 goals against Irwal AM. They conceded 1 goal against Cape Town State. So defensively, Pirates are commanding cool. And if they are to reach the final, because of seems like already bago final, they have to fix it defensively up and concede less goal. Imagine the Pirates playing against him. Sundowns or Kaizer Chiefs, they are gonna concede, especially from Sundowns, because yes, Kaizer Chiefs they play defensive. So it's one of those things the Pirate needs to adjust up a whole good defensive. Seems like a defensive, it's a little bit slower. I saw it against Stellenbosch. The only thing about Stellenbosch yesterday they did wrong is about decision makings there and also coach not bringing off Aborena. So Stellenbosch now they pass to bully because of decision making, like they are all over the place. They are running without passing. Like as a coach, sometimes I'm a player. They need to combine a pace and also a passing. So Stellenbosch, it's all about running. There's no combination like I'm a beautiful passing, I'm a crossing. Fawona is about running and running and running and running. So against the Pirates, I saw them put again. Yes, Bonabana NH, they can outrun any team like DSTV Premiership. But if they can combine a pace and also like a passing and also Abo Mteto, because Mteto is okay being a box to box midfield. But in terms of passing, Mteto akekho mnandi in terms of passing. Like you can watch matches on Stellenbosch. Mteto is there as a box to box midfielder, like, but passing wakhe awekho right. That's why I say if Andre Dijon can drop kancane and play as I-10 lapaya, Stellenbosch is gonna be a problem. Next second leg they need to do that and bring in Abu Palette from the bench because already Abu Mloisane banama red card because they are gonna suffer second leg because I always thought Mloisane is the best defender at Stellenbosch. So now red card they are gonna suffer second leg. I'm telling you.
Okay. No, okay. I would not put it on. Let's speak about Stellenbosch. Again, they came out with a plan. They frustrated them, similar to what they did to Kaizer Chiefs in the week, where they pressed the defense and then they closed down Abosaleng. What did Stellenbosch need to get over this hump versus the Pirates? Because the plan was there, Mara. They couldn't see it through.
I think Abutine Stellenbosch sadlala ukuthi sadlala as acho abuti molo Dijon lena tshwantse I think tshwantse I can hold in the box a super mode. Understand? We know that guy ka tlhoho plan o shapa di header tse ding. But overall in just Stellenbosch so nice sadlala abuti, but there's something that is lacking there. The type of player like Mendieta, they should have replaced him with someone. Someone they should have looked. It's a good thing about Shebe go MTC Abona, but those guys are still young. They need that number 10 there because that guy would finish any team. Mendieta Halida, Mkaka Mtetwa Mumakela. Borenas the cross. We didn't see those things, but Stellenbosch so Sadlan. They have ability to do anything. Mara Chiefs, the Pirates, I think they've seen the lacking side. The Pirates, the Chiefs. Because if you can look the game as Super Sport in Stellenbosch, it was a pound to pound. But Gavin Utleva and Ukopali Coachelo Utleva. The player gets on in Mpota, Kemambra Steve. But Game Super Sport leader, it was a pound to pound game. Yeah, Stellenbosch as Archabuti is gonna give a lot of teams trouble. Even the Sundowns, Evanana is unbeatable. Yay.
Okay. Stellenbosch again coming into the plan. Mara failing to leave with the win. We saw them keep Chiefs quiet for a long time. We saw them keep Pirates quiet for a long time, but they just couldn't finish it off. What's going on at Stellenbosch that they just can't see out the game?
For the past two matches that you just mentioned, I think because I think like if it was 11 against 11, I think they were still going to trouble Pirates. Pirates doesn't have a plan. They don't know how to play against the pace of Stellenbosch and that low block. Pirates with the same starting lineup, with the same style of play. And Steve Barker is a very smart coach. So he would have anticipated this is how Pirates are going to come out. And if they are low block and we have Reines and Ulo Kundan, Abu Andre, Nabosband going forward, running at them, Pirates can never cope against that. If they didn't lose, if you lose Ulo Kundan and Mosimane, that is your crucial, that is your best defender. So there's gonna be a gap there. And to maintain the Pirates that had how many offensive players towards the end? It was, I think, 7 offensive players.
Yeah. So everyone was on.
Yeah, everyone was on. So for you to say, no, I'm just gonna defend, it's almost impossible. It's almost, the Pirates is that good technically, especially around that goal. When they won the goal, if you're sitting back like that, at least if you do have a few counters, throw them back, but they were just playing around their 18 area. So there was no way for me. I saw them finishing that match with that 1-0 lead that they had. So for me, they had nothing to do with them and how they play or their game plan. It's just tired legs. That's what I saw. They just got too tired. They couldn't maintain it anymore.
Rivaningo, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks, and yourself. Thank you.
No problem. Welcome. Now tell me, we've seen Stellenbosch come up with plans. We've seen them do well, but here they are. They just can't seem to see out the games. Whether it's red cards, then they concede late. What's going on at Stellenbosch?
You know what? What I think is they had a plan, yes. The coach is good, yes. It goes down to decision making. and individual brilliance. If we talk of players like Mtetwa, I think the guy understood the assignment. It's another thing to have a plan and understanding the plan and executing the plan. So I think the only person who got the memo was Mtetwa, and I don't know this guy's name. The guy with the is it white or blonde dye? What's his name?
With
The one who
blonde dye.
scored. The one
It
who scored.
was
Arrow. What? He's a. I don't know if he's from.
somebody said
Yeah,
it
they
here.
said.
Well, anyway, you can carry on.
That guy. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think those guys understood. However, I hear everybody saying Orlando Pirates didn't come to the party, Orlando Pirates didn't play or whatever. This is my thing. Orlando Pirates controlled the ball possession for the full 90 minutes. They managed to score. There was a challenge. They were given a challenge. That's a fact. And they managed to score. What more do we want? Yes, we're not satisfied. We're not going to be satisfied. We need, as supporters, I think we need to understand that each and every single game is going to be different. How players are going to play against Kaizer Chiefs and how players are going to play against other teams is different. It's going to be based on how the opponents are gonna approach us. Stellenbosch approached us with defense because they could not. At some point, they played like a whole 15 minutes outside Stellenbosch box. They could not get in. That's what a challenge is. You understand? But we managed to score those goals with that. So that's playing. Responding to a challenge that you are given, that is playing. What more do we want? They scored the goals. We are happy with them. It's so unfortunate about the red card for Stellenbosch. And I think Patrick Maswanganye has been giving a lot of people, including you, chest pains. And I think he's gonna continue to do that. But you know what? I wanted to comment on something. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to comment on that, but
let's see. Give it to me, then I'll let you know.
Okay. I wanted to talk about the maybe the arrangement or the safety at the stadium because wow, it was wild. It was wild. Even at FNB Stadium, I went to FNB Stadium. I think this whole logic of closing the main roads going to the stadium is just something else because we almost got mugged because we had to use a particular road. There's certain roads you could not use. And these people, the thugs or whatever, they are aware of the situation that you're not going to be using that road. Everybody's going to be using this road. Therefore, we're going to attack on this road. I mean, I'm a woman. I just happen to love football and whatever. So I just, yeah, I don't know. It's just something else.
Yeah, no, it's very unfortunate about the state of our stadiums and things. I think what I'll do is I'll make it a proper topic sometime this week where we can speak around issues of safety, stadium management, inside, outside, things like that. So I'll make it a topic for maybe, let's say, Wednesday or Thursday. Then we can speak about it proper. Let me go back to Undlela. Ndlela, let's talk about Pirates. Another low block game. Another low block game where Stalling was out of the game, was taken out of the game, where we didn't really see Lepasa too much. And Pirates being this downhill team, man. When they score 2 goals, they can score 4. But if they struggle to score that one, it becomes a bit tough. Shouldn't they have a plan B? Shouldn't Rivera have a plan B?
You know, for a Spanish coach, I do expect Rivera to have a plan B, and I feel like he needs to start Hoto on the bench. Hoto should be playing from the bench, because it seems like Mozoqala Hoto is not. Apparently, is not more fluid than the way Belhala Nakona if ufake abo team like ufake nabo Makaring. So the way Pirates bidlala ngakhona, yes, they managed to win and score 2 goals, yes, away goals which are crucial. But if now coach Pirates can be able to combine to know his players more, because yes, we know, yes, we know Gucci Ulipasa is on form, Maswangai is on form, Ndlondo is on form, but some other players are not coming to the party. Uhoto, yes, might have scored, but Uhoto and I was not on the game.
Oh, Lela, can you guys still hear me? Is it on my side?
Yeah, ngiyakuzwa.
Oh, okay.
I'm
No,
still here.
go on. Yeah.
No. So I feel like usalengi kancane asikangamboni this season, and lento le it's been going for a long time. Whenever a player has won maybe a player of the season, and then the next season the player la drop, sayibona kulodge ba drop nabo like many players. So coach needs to talk Mosaling and just tell the boy, you know what, continue where you left last season, still play football. Because it seems like there's angazi maybe he never wanted to go to the Pirate this season. Maybe he thought go to Zohamba. I oversee it. Maybe
I don't know what's happening. You just keep muting there, Lela.
okay. So, but I feel like if coach anga drop Saling, yes, Saling is one of their best players, and allow Mfukeng more, like to play Mfukeng more, and Usaling from the bench. Because it seems like Usaling agaga pick up where he left from last season. The confidence is still and maybe it's not okay. Uguchi, he players play of the season, you know Mokwena. You never know what's going on on players' mind. But if you coach now, sometimes he needs to understand his players and be like, okay, I saw Usaling the time I was playing Stellenbosch TST Premiership and we lost 1-0. He was not on the match. And like I understand, okay, this match is Mbonile futhi ukuthi he was not on the match. So second leg I expect to coach to drop Usaling kancane. I'm dropping nje kancane and bring in Mfana lo and bring him kancane like to play football because it seems like Stellenbosch is a problem. And we can never rule out Stellenbosch ku second leg because Stellenbosch now can come guns blazing with second leg. I expect Stellenbosch to come blazing with second leg because they have nothing to lose now. But the only problem with Bona, they don't have someone that is supporting Mtsepe lapha midfield. But as for the Pirates, it's okay. They need to bring in one team with second leg, and I'm telling you, maybe they'll score about three or more goals. Because the Stellenbosch defensively, again, we keep praising the Stellenbosch for nothing but cut. Defensively, abekomnandi. So the Pirates need to take advantage of Stellenbosch and bring in now our youngsters. Because it seems like that's the only thing that's lacking whenever Pirates is playing against Stellenbosch is the energy to midfield. The Pirates seem like they don't have that right energy to midfield. But the 2-1 scoreline doesn't reflect on how Orlando Pirates won. Yeah.
No. Thank you, my brother. Abut Napoleon. Another day, another low block. More teams are going to be playing low block versus Pirates. Coach Wahao has a tactic that is very good when everything is going well and has won him games. But it seems like it's getting harder and harder, and it's easier to isolate certain players. Should he be looking for a plan B or something different, or should he have a different team in mind in some cases? What do you think?
Now, I think our coach, he needs to have a plan B because, as I was saying, many teams they know. And they know which player to mark or to press in order to close Pirates wings. You need to rest some other players. Got the injury. But you need, as a coach, you need to guide to give another people chance. There's this player, I think last season, it's Baroque. He was scoring that guy, naturally call up from Koba Fanabafan. Ever since he landed to Pirates, he doesn't give him a chance. He's man number 17, I think. He's a striker, that guy, but because he money that. What's happening, Coach Jordaan? Favoritism, I feel, the constant player. That's why I want to Kapinga to label Pirates. Kapinga was a huge player. He came to Sundowns too because of favoritism. Salemo Khatits, more stay 2 games, 3 games, Yanaskaken. Understand? Tabo Monar, Ute Makishin, Ute Inchi. Let's play another player. So to Hanya and Fats. We have first level Engodutin Fats. Even our goalkeeper there, Nagashale parts, Ushawa Makula easy. There's no way I would. Because I can Stellenbosch is the Pirates don't know. But we have the player. Even if you select the substitution how you have to select but Valorant, they're gonna have but to change a game. So bo pule bo logical fela bo kapinga ba khutla di injury ntseng wa seba le sharp o tlo etsala ka this first level.
Okay.
Give another player's chance.
Let me bring it in. I'm going to ask you the same question. I know there was a change in the end and Pirates managed to rescue it, but it feels as though for the past few matches, Saleng has been out of it, and it's not necessarily that he's a bad player or anything. It's just that teams now understand how to stop, let's say, him more specifically, and it's becoming an individual brilliance thing. Should the coach, even just for other competitions, have a different plan, have a different team? Should he start experimenting with those type of things?
I think we as supporters need to understand, and it's important to maybe sometimes listen to interviews, hear the coach's point, or maybe see things from his side. Because from my point, I think because we used to the Saleng that takes the ball alone and run through to the box alone, so we still want that. The coach has seen the brilliance that Saleng has got and is trying to build Saleng to be a team player. If you can watch the past two matches that you're talking about, if you look at him, whenever he touches the ball, it's either he's passing to Mufukeng or he's passing to somebody else. He's bringing the boy to be a team player. Saleng has become to be more of a team player, more than of just being an individual person running with the ball. So we need to adapt to that. I think that's a fact. We need to adapt to that, because if you can look at it, at some point yesterday, he was playing in the middle. I enjoyed it. I don't know. I looked at it differently. I liked seeing him in the middle and trying other things. The one thing I can say is maybe the coach can try at the back, because from my point, I think Koki and CBC are similar. Yeah. I think they play similar football. So I think the two, maybe we can bring in Da and Tetwa. I think we can see something else with those two. Let's bring the two guys, Da and Tetwa, and try them and see how it goes. But as far as Saleng and the other guys are concerned, and then for Hoto yesterday, Hoto was brought in yesterday. If you can listen to the coach, the interview before the match, the coach simply said Hoto is in because of the speed. We needed the speed yesterday. Without the speed, nothing was going to happen without the speed. And for Saleng alone, because we don't know, if we keep Saleng in the box of him playing just maybe the counter, we're going to have a problem. Because everybody's going to get into the match, or everybody's going to plan with Saleng. They're going to say, okay, if we've got Saleng, then we are good. Pirates is done. But because now Saleng is in the middle and whatnot, the opponents are lost as well. Even the supporters are lost. But we need to follow these guys. Guys, we need to support football. Listen to the coaches. Listen to but I understood it. Yesterday, as soon as I saw Hoto, I understood. I said, okay, we need the speed. The guy has speed. That's fine. Because we were not going to win. Stellenbosch is a very balanced team. Besides the other things and all that, they are balanced. We needed it. And as soon as we saw that we could not do it, Maswangani stepped up and he said, okay, I'm just going to cross the ball, long balls, and we're going to score. And we scored. So I think let's build. We're still building. So please don't give up on Saleng yet, guys. We are still trying to get him to be a team player. He's getting used to it. Believe you me, the guy is getting used to it.
Do you think that even not just for the Saleng factor, do you think that at some point your team's going to have to rotate some guys? Because up to this point, I think he's only made four changes to the starting lineup. And there's still a lot of games in the future and a lot of players that need to come back in. So do you think that maybe that should also necessitate maybe a plan B?
I think so, because if you look into it, we're still in the CAF. We still got cup competitions coming up. We still got quite a lot of league games to play, and we still have your lodge. We still have Otladisa. We still have Kapinga. We still have Baloi, the guy from I heard somebody speaking about him. So we still got a lot of players that we can say maybe that's the plan B or whatsoever. I don't know. But yeah, we still have to change our goalkeeper. For now, we need to focus on him, because even the goal yesterday, he touched the ball. He touched the ball and the ball went in. So I think he's making a lot of mistakes, which could have been, So yeah, the coach still needs to do some changes, adjustments, but yeah, all those things are gonna be coming along because we still got. I mean, we're still in the cave. We're gonna need your lodges, your experience, your what's this guy's Ofori. I also would love to see that guy from Dondol FC. I would love for him to be given a chance. Let's rest China. China has cost us, to be honest, because yes, we are scoring, but he's conceding. He's conceding.
I bet you guys have like 5 goalkeepers now that you guys signed, but let me go to Molemekuto. Welcome to the show. You say you are represented, eh? Did you hear that? You say you are represented. Pirates.
I hope you are well and good, ne? But
yeah.
Man, over river. Yazu river, uzana you river. Simamele siya enjoy. You shoot.
Tell me, give me your general thoughts. I'm going to ask everybody their general thoughts before shifting the convo. What do you think about the match that you guys played yesterday?
It was always going to be a difficult one. We always knew with Stellenbosch we always knew Stellenbosch is going to defend. And I think I had said we need to take shots from outside of the box. And when the game started, I saw Maswangai do exactly that. So you can see he studied Stellenbosch. And if you remember very well, first game, the only thing I complained about, besides Makaring, was that the guys were being too strong. I did say that Machita Pirates are taking these tackles, and there's no need to scream. Let the referee know. And
I gotta get adrenaline go Orlando. When you're on Orlando, man, you wanna keep running.
They really go that Inter High Stadium against Stellenbosch. When I complained, I said, no, man, why are you being a strong boy? Let the ref know these boys by Stellenbosch are kicking you. And this time when they came, I could see the Pirates players were online. Any touch, they let the referee know, which is why even the red card, we got it. That red card, if one of the boys had stood up without even crowding the ref would have given a yellow. But because we let him know, which we were able to get that red. So from that aspect, I could see which Yazin, our coach, studied Stellenbosch, and he was able to expose here and there, which Yazin, so this is how. And I'm sorry, I'm not responding to anyone, but guys, we want to play B. We don't play crosses. We break defenses. So us playing cross, it might not be playing B in terms of personnel, but it's playing B in terms of tactical awareness and everything, you understand? So I'm happy with, even with the same players, we are able to shift gears and shift between our strategy. So, I'm so happy. I'll just wait for the next hour.
But first, let me bring in Simon. Simon, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you doing?
I'm alright, my brother, man. Thank you very much for welcoming in and your guest side.
I know Rivaningo is a Paris fan. I know Khoza is a Paris fan. What do you support, my brother?
I'm a Baga chief.
Why? No. Anyway, I wanna get your general thoughts first before I go to any other questions. What are your general thoughts about how you played yesterday?
No, but yesterday was a beautiful game. You know, sitting down, analyzing the game, and listening to the guys today talking, you really realize of the standard of football in South Africa is really going somewhere. Playing a team like Stellenbosch, you expect Pirates to walk over. Only the big teams will give you a good game. But now, if our PSL teams, we're going to go play with Stellenbosch and have such a game, and last time they played us, it shows you generally at least we need a competitive league. And for us to compete, most of the teams need to give the big teams hustle for their money. Yesterday's game was very beautiful. And as a South Africa general, we are growing football-wise. That Athlone Stadium was full. People went to see playing Pirates and Sundowns or Pirates and Chiefs. That on its own is a team, guys. On the game itself, bro, I won't lie to you. The first 12 minutes, Stellenbosch came with a best play.
Yeah.
They took Pirates for what Pirates is. The pace, if you go to the game, check the game of yesterday. The first 12 minutes, Stellenbosch was speeding, was running. Every second ball they won it. They came with pace. And if Stellenbosch had continued with that, believe you me, I don't think we would have made it yesterday, number one. However, watching the very first 12 minutes of the game, I asked myself a question. Will Stellenbosch continue with this pace? Will they be able to maintain it? Remember, for you to be a speeding player, running player, you're not going to do that the whole 90 minutes. So when they did the first 12 minutes, they give us tough time. I saw it different. I'm like, hey, these people are coming to us.
Yeah.
They're not sitting at the back. However, I was also worried to see, will they maintain this thing? Because vele, amanya wazokatala. Abakatalayo, then Pirates will keep up. Because we are used to playing this kind of football week in and week out. They are not. But Coach Steve, look, I know. No, I hands down. That guy can coach. Stellenbosch was a better team yesterday. Yes, we won. And I've heard people saying, no, Pirates not doing what it's supposed to be doing. Guys, every day you play, and the better you are, the more your opponents will be. Because they know you. You see, we can't always expect Pirates to work over teams. The good thing is they must scratch and fight for points. The good thing about Sundowns is one. Sundowns does not care how ugly the game was, how good the game was. Sundowns gets points. You see, with us, the Soweto Giants, we want to play good football, and then at the same time, sometimes we play good football, but we throw a game. We play good football, but we lose a game. So I'm no longer excited about us playing good football and dominating the whole team. I'm concerned about winning. I want to give Sis Riboningo Ayman a highlight when I've been listening to her. Hey, I was just about wow, keep it up. I'm inspired. Someone spoke of Saleh. Someone spoke of Saleh, that Saleh is dropping, what. Then let us listen to the coach, post-match interviews and everything. Look at how Saleh is playing now. I like what sister said. She's more of a team player now. Exactly what the sister said. We want the Saleh that runs with the ball, kills an opponent, and crosses. No. Now the Saleh that we see is a different Saleh, but he adds a value to the team. You know, South Africa, we are used to those players who are ball shining, who always want to be dominant with the ball. Must see him now and then. Then we say, no, he's a good player. There are good players who are the good off the ball. Even if he does not have the ball, that player is good because he can destroy you. He can intercept the pass off the ball. So we are used to players who always hold the ball and the camera is on them. Then we think, this one is working hard today. Look, there was a scenario where the passer crossed the ball and Saleh was in the 18th area. That interchange of Saleh being in the 18th area where the passer is supposed to be, that switch of the passer being outside, now needing to be the one who crosses the ball. That showed me different Pirates. That everyone here must know what they're supposed to do. We're not going to be saying you are a striker, therefore you must always be in the box. No. You see, another issue I'm having one of my pride is that we say, hey, players need to give others a chance. You know, we South Africans, we're not honest. We're not honest. Because we'll be the first one to say, why change it if it's not okay? We'll be the if Pirates lose, let's say the coach does that thing and puts in new players and they lose. We'll be the first one to say, why do you change a team that is winning? You see, however, in that line, I fully agree with one of your points and one of the guys inside that said the rotation needs to be done. But remember, we are not in charge. So the man in charge knows how he deals with these rotations.
That's true.
So far, I've seen he has rotated team, he has rotated Erasmus. And in that rotation, I want to be honest with you, I've realized the importance of team rotation. Erasmus was clumsy yesterday. Erasmus was very clumsy. He was not very fit. Yes, he was playing, but not yet. The momentum was not up. And what I saw in Erasmus yesterday, it's what I saw in team when we were playing with during the week, when team was also put in. For me, team was the same as Erasmus yesterday. So hence the importance of team rotation. Perhaps the coach should be doing something different. That when we are winning 3 goals up, 4 goals up, and it's about 55 minutes, 65, the game is done. You don't put in these players that are not used to, because already you are 3 goals up, 4 goals up. That's why you need to put these players that they can get the momentum up. But currently, with this few minutes that you are giving them, yes, it's your own way of rotating them, but it's not effective enough to the players. Because you played team few minutes and he was rusty, next game do not play. You see now, you played Rasmus, he was rusty. Next time he might not play. Then how then do you show that they keep that momentum up in everyone? So that when we remove Gondro, everyone is ready. Makhaola was Makhaola was coming there because he had 3 games where he put him in like this, and he was now on form. Jiki past 2 games, not even on the starting level. So now you're asking yourself, hey, what is but with the squad, with the depth that we are in charge, it's tough to
I hear you, my brother.
get the point. But overall, my brother, beautiful game, and I'm happy that we won. This is a
I wanna take that. I wanna go back to Rivo. Rivo, I wanna ask you a bigger question outside of the game. From Sunday, they said that Steve Barker, this was his 200th game in charge of Stellenbosch, right? And the question I want to ask is a general question. Why is it that our coaches at 200 games in, is it too much to expect for Stellenbosch to be doing something great after so many games? He seems like he's a mid-table coach. He's fine with being around there. He's okay. Top 8 is fine. But we don't see many of our coaches, especially the ones that have been around for a long time, actually taking the next step. Whether it be at a different team, whether it be in a different country, whether it be with different ambitions. What do you think is the cause of this?
I think the cause of this is because of the South African football community. We are not used to this, especially when it comes to our own coaches. We're not used to coaches being coaches for a team for such a long time. So we kind of expect more. And understandably so. But forgetting the fact that yes, out of the 200 squad, how many players can you say he started with these players from day one, and he still got these players? I think it would have been a different story if that was the case. But there's players that come in, going out, coming in, going out. He has to kind of adjust with those players coming in, adjust to other teams as well, because it goes down to other teams as well how they improve. Because truth be told, I think the guy has done well for the team. The team has become one of the best, if not one of the. If it's not one of the, like he's become a problem, not only for Pirates, but he's become a problem for other teams as well. If you're playing against Stellies, you're gonna get it, So we're not used to it as South Africans.
But it boils down to it, don't you at least want to confedniana? Something where they're showing, I want to say progression, if that makes sense. Because we've got a lot of coaches that we say are really good, and we love them and we praise them. Abo Tinkla, abo Steve Komphela, those guys. But when you look at the league, we don't have, I don't want to say superstar coaches. We don't have people that want to, maybe Stellenbosch is not doing it for me. I've been here 200 games. They keep topping and changing my squad. Maybe I can try somewhere else. Nababo Khoza is now coaching in, what is it? He's coaching Horoya. I'm forgetting the country, for example.
Yeah.
But they keep giving themselves challenges. Our coaches, man, where do they lack with that, at least ambition, Nyan?
I think when it comes to it's money, we can say it's about football, but it's not necessarily about football. It's about you need to look at family. Is your family willing to relocate? If you want to relocate, you need to look at things like, do you have the courage to do that? Are you taken care of at the club? I think the guy is too comfortable there. There's something that they promised the guy. Yeah, I think there's something that they promised him, and it's truth be told, it's not easy for South African coaches out there. You can have a conversation with Pitso.
Hey, what happened? Are you still with me, River? I think we just cut there a little bit.
Okay, I think my network was distorted there.
I think we just cut there a little bit. Just finish up that point, and then
Yeah, as I was saying, that it's not easy. As much as we also remember when our coach came, he was a plumber. So even our coaches, when they go outside, they become plumbers. So you need to have a lever for that. You need to be strong. Are you gonna be strong to face that? So I think he's too comfortable there. It's a bag. He's secured the bag. They promised him whatever they promised him, and I think he's comfortable. He doesn't want to get out of the comfort zone.
Okay. I hear you. Malome Kutso, same question to you. Our coach is just getting comfortable. 200 games in, our Tinkler have years in, our Banban in the league have so many years, but you can't necessarily count the progression of the coach or at least their own ambitions. You know, if you look at Steve Barker, yes, Stellenbosch does very well, but when you look at the results at the end of the season, he's pretty much a stabilizing coach, man. Number 8, number 7, around there, and he'll stay there. Why aren't we seeing our coaches after a very long time not taking the next step?
Nina, personally, I think I've said this so many times. I think Coach Steve is getting too much credit, more than he deserves. I watched these studies games, and I can tell where they want to lose. You can see it's there. It's just, in as much as he studies other teams, his team is also studyable, if that's a word. Within 10 minutes, you can start with what are they going to do. It's not like chameleon-esque where you don't know where or Ribeiro is actually going, or what his actual function is, where you have to figure out almost every player on the pitch. I'm talking about Ribeiro, Mudiba, Rivaldo. You understand? It's not complex. It is so simple that within 10 minutes, you can just change one player and say, okay, we're going to dominate position. We're going to dominate the entire. You understand? Which is why I feel he took the lead against Pirates, lost the game. He took the lead against Supersport, and he lost the game. Because both coaches had decided, oh, okay, that's what you want to do. We'll do something else. And he can't react to a reaction. He can't counter-react. You understand? So, in as much as he's doing well, then I just see him as a mid-table coach. And I feel like with him, unlike with Steve Komphela, he's been at Stellenbosch for so long. He knows the ins and outs. And if there's one thing that we can give to Stellenbosch, I think they've inherited the Western Cape oxygen from Ajax Cape Town. They've taken over. They produce such great talent there with development. They've got the Titus, they've got the Adams, all of those players, I believe, they are so good that if you gave them to a different coach, the team might play on the front foot the entire game. You understand? Tetwa, unplayable. Adams, I'm very impressed by Adams. I thought he'd also be transfer market. Van Rooyen, I think it's Van Rooyen, the right back, super. Maloisane, super. You understand? They've got some over 7 quality players, and I think they should be doing better than just sitting back and letting Paris take 28 shots within a space of 2 games.
But isn't the issue that, like, in the league, we've got too many of those type of coaches? Not all of them are maybe number 6, number 7 level, but a lot of them, you don't know ambition-wise what they're going to do. You can't say that they've been trying to push. Others have been jumping team to team, some without contracts, some with contracts, some with a plan, others without a plan. Like, how come our coaches, man, especially the older ones, just can't go, you know what, guys, let's sit down and figure out the next thing?
We have so many of them that towards the end of the season, Chiefs would be having a bad season, but they would be competing for top 3 or top 4. And they would just talk on their own. Because the rest of the coaches, they're just happy with the even some of the international exports that we attract. And I'm talking about specifically the TS Galaxy guy, who's also overrated.
Ramovic,
He'll just come out, have a great game again. He did that last season, James. Have a great game against Chiefs or Sundowns or Pirates, and next thing he's gone. Next thing, when you check the league, because we only focus on these teams when they play the big 3. When you check the league, next thing, this guy is number 13. Didn't this guy give a ballsy post-match interview when he beat Chiefs? You understand? Last season he beat Sundowns. I think they were the first team to beat Sundowns. And he was talking about taking the league. They were flaunting his UEFA Pro League license in front of us. But the results are not there. It's only about 3 coaches now, corner. at max. It's Calvin Hunt, it's the Sundowns, whoever is in charge of Sundowns, and it's currently Rivero. Everyone else is just floating around and they're satisfied. And Coco Chiefs, unfortunately, they don't tolerate that. That's why they fire coaches. We should give them a hand for that. But everyone else is just okay. You cannot give out for Khoza would have been fired. Would have not been fired if it was not for pressure and support to say.
And he didn't get fired technically. Remember, he didn't get fired. He quit because Babzungu wanted to keep him in the team.
Exactly, he didn't get fired. So it's not only just the coaches, it's also the teams. You understand? You're just satisfied. You go EPL, and I know it's wrong to compare EPL and PSL. That is a very high standard. But we've got the Newcastle coach who showed with I think it's Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe also say I'm taking the next step. You've got the Brighton coach who also said, you know what, I'm taking the next step. Even his predecessor who went to Chelsea and fumbled. But you could see they've got the positive attitude with number 6 is not for me. I want top 4. Even though when I look up, I see Man United, Man City, Arsenal, and the other Liverpool. I still want to break in, and he broke in. Imagine the team I'm telling you: there's Man United, there's Arsenal, there's Man City, and then there's Liverpool. But Eddie Howe still manages to break in, and he plays on the front foot every game. And understand? Well, some games he does drop off, but most of the games he plays on the front foot. I would have hoped that we would also be producing such coaches, and understand. And I believe Stellenbosch has so much talent. It's like they're going through an era of Motsepe United. When Motsepe had more Fortune, Bondlovu, more Dylan, where you just have your golden generation. And this for me is their golden generation, and they should be doing better than being happy for defending for 90 minutes.
No, I hear you. Malume Kutse, let me bring in Prasai. Prasai, hey, I get that they're doing well. I get that he loses players and stuff. And I don't want to make it about the teams. I want to make it about the coaches. That at some point, maybe you see, these guys sell my best players every year. Eating your funa somewhere else, where as a coach, I can move forward and adapt and move forward. And I don't want to make it about just Tupaka, just the league as a whole. Right? Why is it that we're not generating superstar coaches? We're not seeing our coaches taking the chance to go overseas. Middendorp just signed for the 9th place team in Tanzania, for example. I've mentioned Ufohloza going elsewhere. Nangu Zimbabwe is now in Morocco. Why is it that our local guys aren't taking more of those chances to better themselves, change environments, do things that will give them, become maybe the next Pitso or whatever? Why aren't we seeing more coaches doing that in the PSL?
No, James, I hear you very well. That one is very, I don't know if you say sensitive or very easy to do, bro. Let me start domestically in the league.
Yeah.
Teams like coaches like Bubaka and the one who are kept on seat, Tindler.
Yeah.
Guys, we need to be honest. The money plays a role when it comes to coaching. The money plays. Now, domestically, for you to get teams that can pay you well, they are minimal. So now, on those bases, are you feel freedom of expression within our own domestic league? Because you might go to, I don't know which team, they might not give you what Captain City can pay you, what Pirates can pay you, what Chiefs can pay you, what Sundowns can pay you. So the money issue plays a huge role domestically. Two, that is why they become complacent in their own those teams, because they know, should I leave Stellenbosch? Stellenbosch, it's owned by who, so we know there's money.
Yeah.
So where am I going to get the money? You see, that is point number one. Point number two, what I want to raise on that same matter, it's just my own opinion. Don't take it out of context, guys.
No.
There's a racial issue there. I would say to you, the same mid-tempo of Steve Barker and Eric Tinker, if those were black coaches, they would have long been gone in those teams.
Yeah.
That's my view. It's my own opinion. If Steve Barker or this guy was a black person with the same results that they have currently, those guys would have long gone in those teams. However, nothing of white management, ownership, white person to white person, can give him a chance more and more over. But if it was a black person, I believe that would not have been a different story. But the money issue plays a role. But as to outside of the country, Pitso and stuff, what we should check is the interest. Remember now, there should be interest. There should be teams that maybe are interested in your services to start with. Two, again, we should check, are you as the coach applying for jobs outside of your comfort zones? So that one it's a bit tricky to can say they're not applying or they are. Because also these teams, when you want to go overboard, what they check is the domestic league. How are you doing domestically? So they won't just take any person just because it's regular at Cape Town City. Now TP Mazembe will take him. That will not happen. But the results, the record will then at least I want to put them in the mark to be in the outer borders. But
so do you think maybe it's an attitude thing? Do you think maybe it's for example, Steve Barker, as one of the coaches that I've mentioned, very comfortable at Stellenbosch. He calls the shots. He controls a lot of things. You look at Gavin Hunt at SuperSport. He calls the shots. He controls the things. The moment he tried Taiwan to go to a team like Kaizer Chiefs, for example, I think he realized that you know what, I'm not going to have the type of control that I need. And truth be told, most of the teams, big teams, or even teams from the rest of Africa, are not going to give you that type of control. Is it maybe an attitude problem too?
Fairly right. Comfortability. So, because as much as we are against that ideology, that is a good idea. For me to scrutinize you easily, James, I'll scrutinize you easily if you said, Simon, give me these resources. And if I give you these resources, you're not producing, then it's easy for me to say, James, you're useless, bro. Leave. But for as long as we want you at Chiefs and Pirates, but we want to give you material and we expect you to produce, it will be difficult. So at those teams, they can work easily because they can command, they can turn. You see, and for me, and those teams there, that's where they were supposed to be harshly criticized because you requested this, we gave you this, but still not giving us anything. You're just making there. But because of that thing, skin complexity will let you be because you're a black person. But as I said to you, if it was a black person with those demands in Stellenbosch, in Cape Town City, in SuperSport, and they don't produce. Believe me, we saw it in SuperSport recently. Sorry, man, just forgot you. And I was thinking about him now. The guy who coaches Richards Bay now.
Caetano
was not given any resources. He was not given any resources. He was forced to use development and everything. Now came the Gavin Hunt. Gavin Hunt was given what he wants. And okay, he's still using some of the resources, but at least Gavin Hunt had the upper end in terms of a material. You get the point. Therefore, Caetano eventually was sacked. This one is there, and same thing over and over again. But like you said, with management, with teams, cost. If you come here, you want this. Exactly as what happens at Chiefs. I still say, with Gavin Hunt's scenario at Chiefs, how it was handled could have been handled better. That guy worked hard at Chiefs with nothing. You see, when you had a chance now to give what he wants, you felt like what he wants is too much based on the budget of the team. Now, this one, what the players that he wants to release are still contracted. Coming to your point that you said, why can't the coaches see the team and say, Chief, thank you, man. I see I've been here for a while, but in myself, I said I'm not growing. Let me go out. That one, it always has cost implications. For example, James, if you're contracted for 3 years with Stellenbosch, and then you as a coach comes, guys, I've been with you for the past season, and this is in 3 years, but I keep producing results. I want to go out. Obviously, there will be cost implications that will be directed to you. So you'll be shooting yourself in the foot in terms of cost liabilities to the team. You see, so it's also it's not an easy thing for a coach to release himself. It's not easy because we will bear the cost. So the team wants to pursue those costs. You get the point. But eventually, that's basically money issues, comfortability, and again the skin carnage. If those guys were black, now I still say they would have been long gone those teams. But that's my own opinion.
No, thank you so much. I'm going to disconnect you guys now because let me just let in the last panel. Thank you so much for joining me, Rivo, Kuzo. Thank you so much. I'm going to put in the last panel for today just so that we can round out this chat that we're having and bring it back to Stellenbosch and Pirates. Kumo, welcome to the show, my brother. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing great. And yourself?
No, I'm okay, my brother. I'm okay. I'm going to start you off quickly. Tell me your general thoughts about this game that Pirates played versus Stellenbosch.
To be honest, I didn't really watch the game because of load shedding, but the
Okay.
first half that I saw, it's funny because these Pirate supporters think, like to think like they were playing their best game, which they were not. If it wasn't for the red card, the game would have been a different outlook.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say about that game.
And then let me ask you the question that I wanted to ask. Now that you see that Stellenbosch a 2-1 down going into the match, going into Orlando Pirates has 2 away goals. What approach should Stellenbosch come into that game with?
Yeah, to reiterate on the fact that Stellenbosch had to maintain a defensive approach on the previous game because of they had a goal in the first half and they were men down, so they had to be much more cautious. Now going to the next game, they're gonna go for it. I mean, like they have nothing to lose. They're gonna be playing at Orlando, so away goals are gonna be like they do matter. So they're gonna have the game of their lives, man. There's nothing holding them. They already lost because of the 2 goals. They're already behind. But now I see them going full force, all guns blazing, going forward.
Mara Orlando, ke slaughterhouse. Do you want to go all guns blazing versus Pirates? Go Orlando.
It's a cup game, and again, like which slaughterhouse for who? For who?
Yeah. All I know is that it's 11 goals in 3 games. They scored 5 the one day, 4 the other day, 2 the other day playing badly.
When have Pirates ever played great? They've been getting goals, yes, but you can't say, wow, what an inspired performance by all of the Pirates. All I'm saying, it's a cup game. It's different from the league. If Stellenbosch goes for a cautious approach, they won't achieve anything. Even the name says it all. It's going to be a game of our hands, I'm telling you.
No, I hear you, my brother. Let me bring you to Toriso. Welcome to the show, my brother. How are you doing?
I'm good, Mr. Oti. How are you?
No, I'm okay. I just wanted to ask you then, to continue on this topic, how should Stellenbosch approach this game when they go to Orlando 2 goals down? Do you think they're capable of scoring 2 goals and not conceding? What do you think they should do?
To be honest, on the side of Stellenbosch, I think going to Orlando, they should not be conservative at all because as it stands, they're already losing. I mean, what's the point of going there and being conservative if you are already losing? You understand? Because if you look at it, they're already 2 goals down. So it means that they need goals. They need goals. If the game ends at 1-0, they are still out. You understand? So they just need to go there, play their hearts out. And then on
now,
that note,
let's say we go there. Let's say Stellenbosch goes there and plays their heart out, and they lose 3-0, 4-0. Let's say hypothetically.
Okay. But what impact is that gonna have on them? It's a cup
game. That's what I wanted to
It's
ask in terms of confidence. Maybe not because of the cup game, but now you've lost to Chiefs, you've lost to Pirates. Pirates, when you come back later on, they've blown you out of the water. Does that have implications on the confidence of the players? And would that come into his thinking when he goes into this game?
All right. Okay. From my knowledge and experience in some of these teams is that there's always team psychologists that play a role when you go to games. So what happens is they need to give these players the mentality that this is like the name MTN8 says it all. Wafa wafa. This is a cup competition.
Yeah.
Whatever result comes out of this competition, it should not affect our morale. But we have to go there with confidence, and we need to go there, be aggressive as they've been aggressive, but they just need to be cautious on the cards because they've been getting cards lately, and especially against the big teams. So they just need to be cautious not to get cards, but they need to go there and give Pirates their run for their money.
Yeah.
Another thing that I think Coach Steve would have as an advantage is that Pirates has been conceding goals. It doesn't matter. Yes, they score more goals, but they concede. So if we go there, perhaps if we are not so conservative, we can score more goals than them this time. You understand? So I think that should be the mentality going there.
Okay. No, I hear you. M-Flow, welcome to the show. How are you doing? M-Floor. Hey, okay, I'll come back. Kumo, let's go into Pirates' shoes for a little bit. You've got 2 away goals. You're going to Orlando. What should Pirates' approach be? Should they go there and try blow the shoes off of Stellenbosch, or should they, play a conservative game?
First of all, they should pray that Saleng and Lepasa doesn't get injured because they won't have any other options to do. No?
When I want the chaos in Jersey.
No, but I'm being honest. Like, these people are on the high horse. I mean, like as if like Pirates did something amazing this weekend. Oh, okay. But yeah, no, you know what? No? Like, it's a cup game, like I said previously. Pirates should just have composure and approach this game like it's a final because they've already got 1 foot in the door and they'll be playing at home, which means it's going to be packed and their players wouldn't want to watch mediocre football like we saw at FNB this past weekend. So they should go for it as well.
Okay. Chorizo, should Pirates go there to score 7? Or should they play a conservative game? They've got the lead. They're playing home. You know what Orlando gets like. What do you think the approach for Jose Rivero should be in this game?
To be honest, I think Pirates does not know how to play a conservative game. If they do, or if they try that, they will go down the drain. Then they will watch the final from the sideline.
Yeah.
Orlando Pirates has very good attacking players.
Okay.
So why go there and be conservative? I think Orlando Pirates should just go there and play their normal game. They should not blow things out of proportion. They should just go there and play their normal game that they're used to playing, knowing that they have a goal advantage and also not talking about the away goal, but they have their the goal advantage. But going into the game, they should play their normal game from 0-0, knowing that they should not lose the game.
Yeah.
Yes, the scoreline is 0-0. The first leg is gone. It's gone. We're not thinking about that. We are playing today, and we should play to win today. I think they should not blow their things out of proportion or try to play something that they are not accustomed to. No, I don't think they should do anything different from what they've been doing for the past 3-4 weeks.
Okay, no, I hear you. Kumo, I'm looking at the time. I'm going to ask you to close it off for me. What are your closing thoughts for the discussions we've had today?
You know what? I came in late. I thought we were going to talk about Chiefs.
8 o'clock. 8 o'clock, Chiefs.
No. Oh, okay. Then. No, you know what? Né? I'm glad Pirates won because I want to see them in the final because already we're going to dispose of Kaizer Chiefs. That's a given. So, yeah, man, the fans deserves good football. And currently, Chiefs is not one of those teams that Stellenbosch to provide us with that. So, yeah, congrats to the guys from SOWETO. I'm not a hater, especially when it comes to Pirates. But you guys need to come down just a little bit. Just a little bit.
I'm looking at the comments. I'm sure the Pirates fans would disagree.
No, but we must be honest. They were talking as if like they saw some masterclass, world-class goals. It's a red card, and they even scored before you guys scored with 10 men. Like, relax a bit.
Don't excuse.
Sure.
Sorry. Can you give me a closing statements for tonight? For this afternoon, sorry.
Oh, for the afternoon. Yeah. Look, I think it has been quite an informative weekend for me. And the Sundowns guys, they should not. I think now their team is playing well, yes, over the past few years, but the Escaba overconfident, man. This is football. Escaba overconfident. They might find themselves watching the final also from the sidelines. So yeah, be careful, Lobon. I'll see you tonight.
Okay, guys. Okay, guys. So if you haven't followed, please follow. Also, remember, I am going to be back here 8 o'clock. We're going to be discussing God's favorite team, Kaizer Chiefs, versus Sundowns. To close off for me, you know, I think it's one of those things where quality will always win. Quality will always win. I think Pirates had enough quality to look onto the bench and go, you know what, we're going to throw the kitchen sink at the end of the game. We're going to put on Erasmus. We're going to put on everybody that we can put on at the end of the game in order to win that game. I think it's still very early to be asking too many questions about a lot of the coaches and things like that. But I do see this might be an issue for Jose Rivero going forward, right? Having a team be able to close it down for a little bit. The only issue is that Stellenbosch, the mid-table teams, the lower table teams, they're fine. That's their trophy. Their trophy is that. But when you walk into the Champions League, when you go into the later stages of certain competitions, when you get to the tail end of the league, there'll be times where some teams are not going to care. Some teams are going to low block Saleng and Lipasa and Hoto and Masangwani, but they'll have people who can hurt you on the other side, right? So it's going to be interesting to see how he grows and goes with this team, because later on, when the games start piling up, when you have to play more games, you're not going to be able to play everyone. And I know everybody's speaking about Masangwani and those players. I'm speaking about Ndlondlo. Like, if anything were to happen to Ndlondlo or Ndlondlo needs to be rested, you need to have whoever's going to be his replacement at least getting some runs now, nyana, like getting in and getting warm and getting match fit. I think the match fitness question is going to be the most important thing, because there's been 9 players, if I'm not mistaken, 8 or 9 players at Pirates who've pretty much played most of the games up to this point, if not all of the games. Yeah, 8 players have played all of the games up to this point. So at what point do you start bringing people in to have them match fit? Because now chigi something happens and you have to call on somebody. Somebody here said that Tim didn't look ready, Rasmus didn't look ready. Now imagine when push comes to shove, and then you have to put somebody in, and it's not that they're not good, it's not that they're not quality, but it's that, are you match fit? Are you ready to play? Have you been running around? Things like that. But in any case, on the Stellenbosch side, they just made it hard for themselves, guys. That's why I always say, I think our teams do things in reverse, right? Go try and hit them, and then you can defend or whatever. But when you are now chasing the game, now it's 1-1, Pirates is on top of you, and now you decide to defend only with 4 people. Now you decide to do certain things. It becomes a bit of an issue. I give Coach Barker his props for having a plan for a certain portion of the game. But the issue for me is they're not seeing out these games. Plan for Chiefs. Chiefs, he shut down our front 3. He was pressuring our defense. Our defense was making mistakes and doing all that stuff. Couldn't see it through. Finished 2-0 to Chiefs. Comes to Pirates. First 15 minutes has Pirates on the ropes for the most part. Can't finish it through. 2-1 to Pirates. And now the issue is going to come when you have to go to Orlando. Because like I said, Pirates for me, good team. But at Orlando, one of that downhill, they play downhill, they play confidence. And at Orlando, you're going to face a completely different Pirates. Like, it's a completely different thing when Saleng is in front of Pirates and he's seen Lepasa score a goal and he's like, no, I need mine. It's completely different. It's completely different when Pirates scores in that game, and now they're going to try score 4 goals, 5 goals. So they've made it harder for themselves, because right now I don't see, even if they play the perfect game, I don't see Stellenbosch scoring 2 goals at Orlando. And even if they score 2 goals, what is the reply from Pirates going to look like, right? So I don't know. I think the tie is done, but let's see how Coach Stevie said in his thing that he's going to go all out, he's going to push and do all of that stuff. Let's see. Quality there, Paganese. No, I'm not saying it's not quality. But when you play a rusty player, or when it's a player that isn't up to speed yet, can you afford to have that drop-off in a Champions League? Can you afford to have that drop-off later on in the season? Can you afford to have that drop-off in a final or something like that, in those 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 very important games? Can you afford to do those type of things in the game? But in any case, guys, tonight we are going to be speaking about God's favorite children, God's favorite team, and a team that says we are lucky but was very lucky, and a team that in press conferences they've said that they don't celebrate draws, but we saw a different thing. So we'll see what we're going to do. But at 8 p.m. we'll dissect the Chiefs game. Thank you so much for joining me. Follow if you have not followed. Please, I do this every Monday to Friday, 12:30 in the afternoon, then Monday to Wednesday at 8 p.m., as well as watch-alongs on the weekend for the Chiefs, Pirates, and Sundowns games where possible. So join me there. If you want to watch any of the previous things, you heard the panel was amazing. There's been amazing panels throughout this whole time. You can watch any of those things back. They're all available on Facebook and on YouTube. I urge you to subscribe on YouTube, to follow the page on Facebook, and help by supporting me there. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for commenting. I lost them a little bit there. I'm not going to lie. Kumo, thank you for the gifts. Even the one you sent to Rivoningo. Thank you for joining me, guys. Thank you to the Facebook crowd as well. I will see you guys tonight, 8 p.m. Bye, guys. Facebook side, thank you also for your support. Let me read some of your comments on this side before I close. So let's see what you guys have to say. Stellenbosch is out. Pirates will score first at Orlando. Pirates played well, outstanding performance. You're not giving Steve Barker enough credit. Every season he loses his best players. He brings in a lot of young players from the academy and definitely showing progression. He's the only coach that defeated Rulani last season. That is surely progression for a coach with the team sourcing players from the academy. And he loses his best players in bulk every season and he has to find replacements. The fact that Steve Barker's team can even compete and beat the likes of Pirates and Sundowns on occasion, which are teams with far bigger transfer budgets at the disposal, is progression in itself. I hear you, Ray. And I get it if you've been a coach for a year or two. But my question is not necessarily about him and Stellenbosch. It's about him. So he was very stable at Amatax for a very long time, right? Outside of the 200 games that he has at Stellenbosch. He was very stable at Amatax. He's very stable now, 200 games in at Stellenbosch, right? At what point do we look at Coach Barker and say, my guy, you're one of the most experienced, accomplished coaches in the league. When are you going to want more for yourself? So when are you going to look at Stellenbosch, who, pound for pound, is the richest team in the league? Their owner is multiples richer than Motsepe. When are you going to look at Stellenbosch and say, guys, I can't keep losing my players. I want to win the league. I want to win trophies. I want to play in the Champions League. Therefore, I'm going to try force you guys to give me what I need. Or, you know what, guys? Thank you so much. You've given me everything. I'm going to go out and coach in Tanzania. I'm going to go out and coach in Egypt. I'm going to go to Morocco for a little bit. I'm going to challenge myself differently. That's what I'm asking. And the reason why I singled out to Barker is Barker, it's Tinkler, it's Gavin, even to a degree, Gavin Hunt, one of the best TVs in the PSL. He should be long gone. So my question is, when these coaches are sitting with these teams and thinking about themselves in relation to their careers, in relation to what they can do, how come we don't have more coaches within the league? A lot of them, not just Barker, not just Tinkler, not just Gavin Hunt. There's a lot of other ones that have been in our league for a very long time, But at no point do they go, you know what, man, I can't sign for cheaper again. I can't go and coach TS Galaxy for a year again. I can't go and coach whoever, Polokwane City, without a contract. I can't go coach Roll AM. You know what? I need to take myself seriously. Let's try get ourselves in a different situation. If none of the PSL teams want me, let me go look elsewhere. Let me go overseas, man. Let me go into Africa, you know? Let me as, I don't know, let me as Den say that, you know what, guys, I coached in Zambia. I coached in Tanzania. I coached elsewhere. I did some things with my career. That's what I'm asking. Because for me, it can't just be Rulani. It can't just be Pitso who have shown that type of ambition over years and years. Now, years and years and years of coaches coming in and out of the league, you know? And you see it with the European coaches where they, what did I say about Middendorp? Middendorp is coaching in Tanzania now. Romain Foltz is coaching, I forgot the country, but he's coaching a Champions League team right now. Zimbabwe is coaching Raja Casablanca, right? Pitso has gone to Ahly, has gone to United Arab Emirates, he's now in United Arab Emirates. He's coached in these places. He's trying to step his way into a bigger place. But now I ask you, if you've been in the PSL for 15, 20 years and you're still in the PSL, what's the point? You know, how come you're not going? Yes, you're very stable. You're finishing 7th every year. But in terms of your own progression, what does that look like? It wasn't necessarily to do with the teams, because a lot of the teams are not ambitious in the PSL. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I will see you guys 8 p.m. God's favorite children. God's favorite team we're going to be speaking about their game versus the Mamelodi Sundowns. Bye, guys.